Hello, my name is Sensei Marc Hicks, Five Dragons Martial Arts in Haverhill, Massachusetts. I'm going to give you a little brief history about myself as a martial artist and about our dojo. I'm originally born and raised Gary, Indiana. When I was a young man, went to the old Y&W drive-in with one of my brothers and watched Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee fighting in the Roman Coliseum, and I just had to be able to do that. I just had to get into karate. So my brother signed us up at International Judo and Karate. Used to be on Broadway back home. Unfortunately, the school's no longer there. It had there was a fire, and Sensei George Samisa and Sensei Big John Jackson had moved on. But while there, trained under some great martial artists. Um, we were also training under Tadashi Yamashita, who was in movies like American Ninja and Octagon. Just a fantastic person. Really enjoyed my training as a youth. Um, After graduating high school and doing a little time in college, I ended up joining the Army. And when I was stationed down at Fort Jackson, a couple of guys that I served with, this is during basic training, we found out that each one of us studied a form of martial arts. One did Kung Fu, Taekwondo, Kempo, and I myself, Okinawa Shorin-ryu. So Spencer, Waylon, Nacion, and myself, we used to train on Sundays, just work techniques. When I ended up at Fort Carson, Colorado, a couple of us got together and formed a karate team. And we used to go up to Denver and compete a lot. Ended up going to the AAU Nationals. This was back in 1987, where we were actually nationally ranked as a team and individuals. Eventually, I moved out to Massachusetts after leaving the service, and I got back into karate because my kids wanted to learn karate themselves. So we ended up doing it as a family, and you know, just trained as a family, and eventually just led to me teaching at the Lawrence Boys and Girls Club for a time. Um, Unfortunately, I had to leave there. But before I left, I mean, these kids were fantastic to work with. They were, a lot of them came from single family homes. And one of the greatest gifts anybody's ever given me, these young ladies and young men bought me a sword. And at the end of the sword is a dragon's head. And at the time I left the Boys and Girls Club, I decided I was going to try a program over at the Haver YMCA. And I took that sword, and my youngest son even said, "Well, this could be called the Dragon Sword." Um, and that kind of solidified the name of the dojo. I decided to go with Five Dragons because I myself am the youngest of five boys. It was significant to my family and also significant to Sensei Rick's family. So Five Dragons was born um, at the Haverhill YMCA, and the very first class was, I believe it was January 3rd, 2010, and it was a snowstorm. It was an actual blizzard. And my son and myself were sitting in the racquetball court waiting for people to show up, and nobody came. It was a Sunday. And he looked at me and he goes, "Well, what if nobody shows up?" And I go, "Well, at least we tried." So the next class was the following Wednesday, and people were just coming through the door. And that was the start. That's one of the things we preach at Five Dragons is you don't quit. You have a warrior spirit. You just keep going. Do your best. So eventually, we ended up leaving the YMCA and starting our own dojos. Um, Currently, Sensei Rick is up in Salisbury, and I myself in Haverhill. The idea behind Five Dragons is, you know, we have five principles: honor, discipline, respect, strength, and wisdom. We try to make people better than when they first walk through the door. So as we tell people, we say, we're not out here to make you a black belt. We're out here to make you a better person. While we train, we try to maintain discipline, but have a little fun too. But once again, it's not something where class is going to get out of hand. The students learn discipline, they learn proper respect, make good eye contact, speak clearly. These are important things, not just in martial arts, but in life in general. And we show each other respect. Um, we do weapons, we do sparring, kata, tournaments, special events. We try to make the whole martial arts experience for our students, whether they're young or old, just an all round wonderful experience. Um, you know, basically, Five Dragons is about community. We don't just call them students, we call them family. Everybody that joins is family. When I sign a new person to the program, I hold my hand out and I shake their hand and I say, "Welcome to the family," and to their families too. It's just one big community. So that's basically it. I've been doing martial arts for for over 4 decades. Um, I don't consider myself a master. I'm just a blessed sensei because I have some of the best students in the world and I enjoy teaching. And I know Sensei Rick, same thing. So Five Dragons is not just a dojo, it's family, it's home.